Kappa Kappa. Hello duelists, it's Tombox here. Welcome to another card discussion with MST.TV, and today we're gonna be bringing you another Maximum Crisis card. It's gonna be Bao-Ba-Boom. Actually, I stand corrected because this card is actually coming out in the special ed of Raging Tempest. And alongside with it, we get Zoodiac Catarus, but it's not about that. Today we're going to be talking about Bao-Ba-Boom. And, well, interestingly enough, I actually didn't think that we were going to get any really good cards. I didn't actually expect Bao-Ba-Boom to be in there. Maybe Konami had a change of heart and actually decided to put good cards as the special ed promos. Just kidding. Change of heart is banned, so Konami won't have any of that. It's probably a business tactic. But anyways, let's go into what we're going to cover today. We're going to be talking about the pros and cons of the card. We're going to probably talk about the card effect itself, and whichever deck that we may see this card be played in, and we're going to be talking about this card in the link. Alright, let's get started with the card effect itself. If this card is normal or special summon, you can draw one card, then place one card from your hand on either the top or bottom of your deck. Okay, that's pretty good. You get to draw a card by just summoning this card, so you can put away something that's pretty useless. And if this card is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can special summon any number of Bao-Ba-Boom from your deck. Okay, so this card is very similar to the Nimbles, and there's no once per turn clause. Well, okay, so there's no once per turn clause on this card, which is a bit surprising. So let's go into the first pro about this card. First of all, there's no restriction on this card. It's not once per turn, does not hinder your ability to go into battle phase, does not hinder your special summoning, does not limit you on just anything. There's no clauses to kind of hinder your turn. And that's actually really good, because this day and age in Yu-Gi-Oh, well, everything kind of stops this and that, or has a really hard summoning condition. And what else about this card is pretty interesting is that it's a level 3 dark. So immediately, just by destroying this card, you get access to a rank 3. And rank 3, we can immediately think about one monster off the top of our head. We can think of Invoker. That's pretty good. And if you can't go into Invoker, well, you can go into Mech-Equip Engineer. And it's really free. And how do you actually get this card out onto the field? Well, you can blow it up from your hand by using the upcoming card of Dragonic Diagram, Zoodiac Barrage, Metalfoe cards. Tons of cards can actually just blow this up. So giving you access to stuff like Dante, you can also use this for, say, Break Sword, Levier, tons of access to the rank 3s, so this card is really easy. And as you do it, you are also now cycling your deck. You summon out 2 cards out of your deck, so it's like a super tour guide, or like one of those nimble monsters per se. And you get access to rank 3s, you get to draw 2 cards and put 2 cards back. Essentially, this card is an automatic +2. If you use any method, it's actually a +2. Think about it. If you actually use, say, Barrage, you pop the monster, you summon 2 more, and don't forget you also summon the monster from the Barrage effect as well. And if you use Dragonic Diagram, again, you pop it from your hand without even burning a normal summon. Summon out 2 of these dudes, and you also have a Dragonic card that comes in your hand from the Dragonic Diagram from Maximum Crisis. Overall, this card gives you a ton of advantage and a lot of draw power. Even though it doesn't like net you like massive pluses with the draws, you get to dig your deck for traps. Going first, if you dig yourself the very first D barrier or the solemn strikes that you needed to protect your turn, well, your opponent's gonna have a much tougher time to get over you. And since you did not burn your normal summon if you use Dragonic Diagram, or if you use Zoodiac Barrage to go full combo, wombo combo while popping this card, well, it's a very safe card to play, because if you made Engineer and then you go into your Rat, at least your Rat play is going to be relatively safe from most types of destruction. Even though it is very, very good, I probably missed a lot of points about why this card is really good, but there are some negative points about this card. Now, I actually find it very difficult to actually say negative things about this card, because the weaknesses themselves, they kind of self-regulate, and because of that, it's very hard to find bad things to say about it. But I'm going to try it anyway, starting with not being able to summon out of the hand. So if you do blow it up and destroy it, well, you can summon out of the deck. It does not summon out of the hand, so multiple copies would be bad. But that being said, if you normal summon this card, shuffle one card back into the bottom of the deck, you don't really shuffle, you just place it back into the bottom of the deck, well, you kind of mitigated that weakness right away. So for anything 2 copies or more, well, you can kind of minimize that. Although you won't be getting your normal summon, you will be trading your normal summon for the maximum advantage that this card can generate. But overall, it's not too bad. Drawing multiple copies still gives you that extra card that you can see by just summoning, and well, you get to put the 1 card away, so it's not too bad at all. Although if you draw 3 copies of this card, well, you suck. Next up, another thing that could be potentially bad is that it does eat up a lot of deck space because you have to run 3 copies. And who am I kidding? Needing to run 3 copies of a card is never a bad thing because it maximizes consistency. Now, the one true weakness of the deck, or of this card, actually is lack of destruction. If you don't have any destruction cards, this card sucks. It's very slow. And as much as I want to say it's slow, you can still normal summon it, again, shuffle a card and draw 1. Maybe you actually unbreak your hand, but without any type of destruction, like Dragonic Diagram, Zoodiac Barrage, Metal Foe cards. What about this card as a top deck? You know, you gotta put a card back, so it's not really good. But thinking about the situation where if this card was a top deck, I don't even think it's that bad either. Mainly because if you have this card still in your deck, that means you didn't blow up any copies of it yet. And if you didn't blow up any copies of it yet, that means if you drew this card, you can normal summon it or set it, whichever you prefer. And then you can, well, if you normal summon it, you can look at the top card of the deck. If it's good, you can leave it on top. If it's bad, put it to the bottom. Very simple. And if you set it and your opponent attacks into it or blows it up, well, you just gave yourself 2 more monsters. Well, although you don't get to keep any of the cards that you get, you still get to cycle through your deck and get a more ideal answer. So it's like almost like an extra pot of duality, if you will. Okay, I'm going to start off with saying Zoodiacs will try this card out. To them, it will be more of a tech than an actual card to use. Mainly because it is a dark attribute and it does eat up a normal summon. Normal summon in Zoodiac is already super important to actually establish your main combo. If you already have a Barrage, you have another kind of combo to go with it. But if you use this card plus Barrage, then you are probably in one of the best situations anyway. So it does feel a bit win more. But if you find ways to actually pop this card out of your hand, then it becomes a lot more ideal. Then you can actually get your free Invoker, Mecha Equip Engineer. Don't forget, this card is dark, so it is not a Terratop where you can make a Totem Bird. They got that out of the way, so I don't know. It's a bit of give and take for this card, so in Zoodiac might not be the most ideal option. Next up, we have Lawn Mowing decks. The grass looks greener. I guess you'll use it as a 3-card fill so that you don't have to run other cards. And this card does let you cycle cards, so you might dig faster into your lawn mowing or maybe even use it to spam some rank 3s. Next up, we have the Metal Foes. Metal Foes will probably use this because it is very free. You can special summon it out using a Pendulum Summon. Blowing it up is very, very easy. And even if you have multiple copies in your hand, even if you Pendulum Summon it out, Pendulum, not every copy, just one copy, shuffle the other copy back in, and then you pop it. Now you get multiple copies, and wow, think about the deck thinning and deck digging that you are doing. It's very good. Pendulum decks that want to get additional digging, like Perform Pulls, you have a chance of seeing this card being used because Perform Pulls don't ideally need their normal summon. They can actually spam out Pendulum Summon with a Sorcerer, pop it along with other stuff, search more cards, spam more monsters onto the field. I think this card kind of speaks for itself. Any kind of deck with destruction-based effects will definitely try to maximize this. And of course, True Kings is definitely one deck that I see this card being played in the most because Dragonic Diagram synergizes very well with Baobaboon. By opening this card with a Terraforming, you immediately get the ability to search yourself one True Draco or True King monster, and you get to summon out 2 baboons, and you get to like draw 2 cards and 2 cards back in. Well, that's very good, and it's super free. And like I said, like the more free it is, the better. So these are some of the cards that we'll see play with Baobaboon. In terms of Link summoning, well, the Link format, I can say that this card currently, as of like right now, it's not very good. Since there's only 2 Link 2 monsters, we have Mrs. Radiant and we have Honeybot. And both of those monsters have special summoning requirements from being all Earth monsters or 2 Cyverse monsters. Okay, so you can't really use this Baobaboon for Link 2, but you can still use it for like Link 3s and 4s. Okay, this card still has a lot of potential because it does generate 2 bodies. And if in the future we require 2 plant monsters, dark monsters, or just generic effect monsters, or just monsters in general, this card is very good because it will let you thin out your deck so you can dig up resources and tools before you send it to the graveyard to open up your links and kind of go off. And I swear, one day Konami's gonna make a really crazy Link 3 that opens 3 links for your opponent, and it'll have some really crazy effect where your opponent can have access to the easy extra deck access, but it will have some sort of absurd anime effect. I don't know, I'm just kind of deviating on a tangent here, but that's all I got for this card, Bao Baboon. Hopefully you guys liked the discussion. I would like to hear what you guys think about this card. I'm actually really glad it's becoming a super, like, don't get me wrong, this is probably one of the best super rares we get for like a special ed. In other words, it's guaranteed. I probably personally want 3 copies myself, just because I like having like all the engines available to me when I'm doing my deck building. But if you guys got crazy combos or any sort of other plays with this card, please leave a comment down in the section below. I'll pin the coolest comment to the top. And as always, I am out of here. Hey guys, thanks for watching. And if you guys want to see more stuff from MST.TV, drop a like and hit the left button over here to subscribe. Or if you want to check out another video from us in the past, click here on the right. And as always, don't forget to hold on to your MST.TV.